20个大满贯，310周世界第一，连续19年获得 ATP 最受球迷欢迎奖。他是网坛著名球星费德勒。
I gave it all I had in my career. I started, on tour when I was 17 and retired when I was 41. And I feel like I gave it all I have. I don't have any regrets.
2002年开始征战上海大师赛，退役后又以赛事超级挚友身份，今年10月重返上海。
So I feel my connection to the Shanghai or the Chinese tennis fans has been very strong, and it's always been an incredible pleasure to be here.
新闻1+1今晚，白岩松专访瑞士网球运动员罗杰·费德勒。
您好，观众朋友，欢迎收看新闻1+1。费德勒又一次回到了中国，回到了上海。不过这一次他不是作为参赛的选手，作为一位拿过20个大满贯网球冠军的天王，这一次回来，他的感触、感慨和感动都会是什么？今天我们专访他。Hi, nice to meet you.
Yes, how are you? Maybe I just need help. Thank you.
非常开心你又回到上海。当您又一次站在您当初开球的这个中央球场的时候，当然不是作为这个选手了，而是作为嘉宾，是一种什么样的感受？有没有想再上场比赛的冲动？
No, not really. I mean, look, I'm very happy retired, and I've had incredible moments on Shisong Stadium, for so many years. And it was just really nice to see the fans again, be on a tennis court, center court, and one where I have so many great memories. So it felt really nice to be out there.
您怎么看待这种很特别的对你的爱？
I feel like I've received incredible amounts of love and passion and support over the years here in Shanghai. The crowds here are very unique. They have followed me very closely. They have been also very creative in the way they support me with banners, colors, screaming, yelling in the good way, and welcoming me at the airport and wishing me well on my departure. So I feel my connection to the Shanghai or the Chinese tennis fans has been very strong, and it's always been an incredible pleasure to be here.
你这次站在这个中央球场上，又得到了一个新的称谓，叫上海大师赛的超级挚友。您怎么看待这个称谓？尤其看待特别好的朋友这样的一种说法？
Yes, well, that's the thing. I'm a very good friend to the tournament because I've been coming here ever since 2002 for the Tennis Masters Cup, and then again from 2005 to 2008 when it was the World Championships, and then again when it was the Rolex Shanghai Masters. And I've been a friend to the tournament for a long time, so we looked for a way for me to come back this year so I could meet fans, number one, see them again and be part of tennis, because tennis is very important to me, and it brings me back to a place where I have unbelievable fans like what we talked about. So it's an absolute pleasure to be back in Shanghai this year.
因为你已经8次参加上海的这个大师赛了，然后大家也留下了一种这个习惯，就是你每次来都会学一句新的中国话，甚至是上海话。这一次有没有特别的准备？
I have not had any lessons or any moments yet, but I know the fans really enjoy when I say ni hao or xie xie and other words in Chinese, but usually I need somebody to tell me first, and then I can say it quite well afterwards in Mandarin. But it's been great fun, and also 1 year actually with my team, we took a 1-hour Mandarin lesson. It was very difficult. We tried a few sentences. I remember one of them was, I'm very happy to be back in China, or I'm very happy to be in Shanghai. And that took me like 1 hour to learn, and I kind of almost semi-forgot it already. So it's been good fun learning new languages and deep diving into that a little bit as well.
比如说，现在您最熟练的一句中文会是什么？
Now it's always ni hao and xie xie. So those are my first two go-to sentences, of course, and then Chungwo is one of them, of course, and what was it? Anyway, I forgot the lines. I need refreshments after not having spoken Mandarin in 4 years. I need a refresh for sure.
这是2002年您第一次来到上海参加比赛的时候。那个时候您刚21岁，还没有这个获得过大满贯的冠军。20多年，你感觉这个赛事发生了怎样的变化？上海这座城市在发生着什么样的变化
I mean, this is a great memory, a great moment for me in my career because it was the first time I qualified to be part of the best 8 in the world. Like you said, Shanghai grew so much in those in the years since 2002. I remember walking around in the streets, seeing the modern Shanghai grow up with the new buildings. But now, if you look at on the Bund and you look over to Pudong and you see the skyline, it's incredible how different it looks, you know, and how much bigger it is. How maybe even more people are here in this incredible city. So for me, I've seen obviously a big change within the city. And then in terms of tennis, I think, you know, we've also seen quite a shift, you know, if you look back on how intense, you know, the players play and how fast they all move. And I feel like everybody's pushing that to later as well, which is great because we get to see the best players in the world playing for a much longer time on tour, which I think is nice.
这一瞬间当然要谈到这个退役的那一刻，很多的球迷和拉法一样，都掉眼泪了。这是不是一个非常艰难的决定？
I mean, of course, the decision was hard, but it's life, you know. We know that at one point the day will come where it all ends, so no problem with that. And I knew that the moment was going to be difficult emotionally, you know, because tennis has meant so much to me. I have my family, it was my children, my parents, my wife, and everybody. But then I also have the tennis family, which is a wonderful place for me to be. I spent so much time there. So when it all came to an end and Rafa being there and all the best players and the fans, it was a beautiful moment and one I will never forget at the Labour Cup in London last year. It feels like it was yesterday, but at the same time, it does feel like it's a long time ago. And that Labour Cup moment will forever be incredibly special. So it was a great time.
您知道吗？在您的退役宣言里头，最让我感动的是你提到了自己当初很小的时候在瑞士做球童，然后看着球场上很多选手像巨人一样，但是谁想到多年之后，您成为这个球场上更大的一个巨人。如果您今天想对当年做球童的你自己说几句话的话，您会对他说什么？
Yeah, I mean, this is totally unexpected, you know, for me to have had the career that I've had. And I was a ball kid for 2 years, so I would tell my younger self, keep believing, keep working hard, listening to your parents and coaches, and enjoy the journey. And hopefully you can make it and take some good decisions along the way, who you're going to work with, you know. And I think what I like about this picture and sitting here today is that I've had an incredible time the last 35 years with tennis. Tennis has brought me together with incredible people, incredible countries, has created incredible memories for me. And I feel like it's been a wonderful journey that hasn't ended yet because I'm here in Shanghai today, also as a non-active player, which is great. So it shows also there is an afterlife to the post-career.
想念那个时候吗？
If I miss these times?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I liked my junior years. My junior years were the best.
很多人一提到您，也自然会想到另外的2个名字，像纳达尔还有小德。您怎么评价这2位对手，又或者朋友？
They are titans, icons of the game, and I was really happy and fortunate to be playing against them almost 40 to 50 times each. So I have a lot of memories from a lot of great matches, battles. I mean, I've answered questions about them so many times, you know, and I can only say the best things about them. So it's been great to share the court with them for so many years, and I hope that Rafa can come back very strong next year, and I hope that Novak can keep on playing as long as he wants, because it's just really good for the game to have these guys still in the game.
我听到无数人，甚至是很多专业的网球选手都在说，在他们的心目中，您永远是最好的那一位。您听到过这样的话吧？您怎么看待这种评价？
Well, yeah, you hear comments all the time, you know, what people think, but today everybody has an opinion, you know, so it's nice to hear good things, obviously, but at the same time, you have to be comfortable in your own skin. I gave it all I had in my career. I started, you know, on tour when I was 17 and retired when I was 41, and I feel like I gave it all I have. I don't have any regrets. Of course, I would like to replay certain matches, or maybe would have done a few things different, but that's normal. So I can't change my records, you know, or my things, and that's good because I'm very happy and very proud of what I have achieved.
在您这20个大满贯的冠军当中，哪一个是让您感觉最难忘的？
Ooh, good question. It's not fair to like put one over the other in many ways, but I think the first one has to be extra special because it gives you that milestone victory that you will remember for a lifetime. So that was Wimbledon 2003. Then I think French Open was very unique in 2009. When I won my only French Open, and I had lost in the finals of the French Open several times before. So for me to win the French Open was incredible because the crowds, I could feel, really wanted me to win Paris, which then I did. And then of course Australian Open 2017 was unique when I beat Rafa on my comeback after having my knee problems. All of 16 was a tough year, so I came back that year. And you know, the US Open, just a run of winning 5 straight US Opens. You can choose any one of them being special, but maybe when I beat Agassi in the finals in 2005 was extra special just because it was against Agassi, who was also, of course, an absolute icon of our sport.
现在人们越来越多的在网球场上，经常能看到网球选手愤怒的时候摔这个，甚至砸坏这个球拍，就像摇滚歌手砸坏吉他一样。您除了最初有过，后来几乎就没有了。您永远在微笑，永远在与人为善。您的愤怒去哪儿了？
I had it in my junior years. So I was, when you were not watching and nobody else was watching, in practice, I was throwing my rackets and being really angry. We are in sports, it's emotional, we win, we lose, and sometimes you got to get that anger out. So, but I found a way to control my emotions, you know, especially ever since 2001. When I was 20 years old, I started to become much more consistent in my mind. But I like to see players with emotion. So it's not bad, you know, if you throw a ball out of the court or you break a racket from time to time. As long as it's not every match, I think it's totally okay.
其实中国还和你有一个非常奇妙的缘分。您想想，您是8月8号出生的人，在您27岁那一年，2008年北京奥运会的开幕式，您是瑞士的旗手，而且还拿到了那届奥运会双打的金牌，您唯一的一块奥运金牌。这个奥运金牌有多重？您现在保存在了哪儿？
Correct. The medal is at home. This was my birthday. Carrying the flag for Switzerland into the bird's nest in Beijing was one of those dream moments of an athlete's career. And I see the medal daily when I'm in Switzerland, you know, in my apartment. And I walk by, I have a sort of a trophy cabinet, you know, and the gold medal from Beijing is right there. So I see it quite often.
一个很难忘的回忆。
Yes, and I carried the flag actually twice for Switzerland, in Beijing in 2008, but then also in Athens 2004, which was also very special.
你在上海的这个中心球场又看到了他。其实几年前您就当时预测说张志臻一定能够排名很快进入到世界前100。我要告诉您，他前不久刚刚获得了亚运会的男子单打的冠军。但是要想未来，他现在已经无限的靠近50名排名。您怎么看待他的未来？还要多做一些什么？
Yes, I mean, it's great to see Xi Zhenjiang play so well again, you know, or, I mean, for the first time, really break new grounds for a male Chinese player. If I had a little bit of a part to play to inspire him and motivate him to do well with the practice in Monaco, like there, he told me now he's going to play in Basel, in my hometown next week. I won the tournament 10 times, so I hope that's going to inspire him to hopefully do really, really well. But I think he's also playing very well. It's not just a great story, but he plays great tennis. He's aggressive. He's got great energy. And I think the next few years are going to be really, really interesting for him. And I hope that he can enter maybe top 30, top 20, which I think will be absolutely fantastic for him.
您当然能够感受到中国人现在喜欢网球的人越来越多。什么时候我们会有自己的男子的这个排名的 No.1？ 您怎么看待我们的这种期待？
Everybody has the same expectations. It's been quite difficult, you know, but I think China's on the right tracks for sure. I mean, I think important for a country is to have a big group of players, not just a one-off. So I think creating a very solid base of having a lot of players and then these players all pushing each other to the next level, I think this is what's important. And so I think it's also important sometimes to leave your country or your city to feel uncomfortable to make it in the big world, because tennis is a global sport. We travel from January to November on a global scale, and I think you want to feel comfortable playing in all the different continents around the world on the different surfaces. And I think if you just only train, as an example here in China, only in China, I think it's maybe a small mistake. So I think being really open about the idea, where to train, with whom to train, how much to train, I think is definitely going to be the key for success for also Chinese tennis.
您当然知道，全世界包括中国在内的很多的孩子是因为您喜欢上网球的，包括张之臻也把您当成偶像。那您 特别想对他们说什么？他们不一定会夺得这个职业赛的冠军，或者成为一个专业运动员，但是如何一生都去爱网球？
Yes, so I think at the beginning it's about having fun, and I think it's the coach's job to make it interesting. That the tennis player, when he's young, says, "Mom, Dad, I want to go play tennis," and it doesn't have to be at the tennis club. It could be at home with a softball against the cupboard, or downstairs in the street, maybe against the wall, or in the garage, or wherever. Just want to play tennis all the time. So I think inspiring the generation, wanting to move and doing sports is number one. Now I love doing many sports, not just tennis. I used to play football, skiing, basketball, ping pong, you name it. So for me, it was very important to do multiple sports, because I think if you do multiple sports, it helps your coordination, your eyesight with reading the situation better and anticipating. And then, of course, at one point, you just focus on tennis, and that's when then it gets a little bit more serious, and you have to put in the hard hours and just put in a lot of hours to get the mind and body ready to play a lot. And I think important is to have fun, listen to your coaches, but really try your absolute best. And then later it becomes less about tactics and technique and all these things, but more about organization.
您刚才提到了乒乓球，这一定让中国的很多的球迷会眼前一亮。下次您再来中国的时候，一定跟中国的这个乒乓国手，比如说马龙啊，或者等等，打打乒乓球。这个建议怎么样？
Well, yeah, I will not win one point, you know that, because the spins are so crazy. But the tennis players all like ping pong, because in the player lounges sometimes, when we wait a lot and there's rain delays and long waits, we always play ping pong, but we played not with the crazy spins like the professional players do. But I've always admired, the way they hold the ping pong racket here in China, and I would like to try a little bit more ping pong in this country, because I know, how do you say, the history here has been very strong when it comes to ping pong.
24年的职业生涯，1500多场比赛，随着退役呢都结束了。大家其实很想知道，您退役之后每天的日子是怎么过的？您在陪自己孩子打网球的时候，会不会故意的输给他们？
Yeah, sometimes I do, actually. I sometimes let them win. I think I'm a nice guy, and I want them to also have a good time. And for me, remember, I am the former great tennis player, but I'm also the dad. And number one, I am the dad. I actually enjoy it a lot, and I'm more the motivator and the inspirational guy. Sometimes I give them technical advice, which can be tricky.
享受退役之后的生活吗？
Yes, very much so. Yes, it's been good. It's been a smooth transition because of, I guess, my knee problems, then and then COVID as well. Everything slowed down in the last few years. So when it was over, I think it was also a relief, because I tried so hard to come back, and at the end, it didn't work out, which is totally fine. And then the last year has been only but fun. It's been different life, because my organization has been different. Logistics with the children has increased a lot, but I'm doing a lot when it comes to the Roger Federer Foundation, when it comes to philanthropy, I've done quite a lot. Then also, in business. So it's been really busy, to be honest. And then, of course, I'm a dad 24/7, and I help them with school and everything that goes with it. So my life's not boring and slow like some people might imagine it is.
我自己也非常关心一个问题：现在这个世界网坛上，什么样的比赛会让您有兴趣，然后打开电视或者电脑来看直播？
Well, I like it when it's, how do you say, two players play against each other that don't have exactly the same style. The chess game is more interesting when somebody plays more attacking and the other one is more the defensive player. So, but the top players, they all play very nice. Of course, I like to watch certain tournaments more. I like actually watching clay court tennis as well quite a lot, or then also grass. Hardcourt, I just think there I need the right players playing against each other. I like also trying to spot the next super talent.
这是全世界非常熟悉的一个家庭，因为在您做球员的时候，巡回比赛经常他们是陪伴在你的身边。对您来说，家意味着什么？退役之后是否可以弥补很多？
It's been good, Don't forget my children traveled with me. right away after they were born, pretty much. I don't feel like I've missed the childhood of my children. I feel like I was there every step of the way. So now life at home is obviously a bit more busy. It's different intensity. There is a lot of organizations, them being like the quarterback and general manager behind it. What's best for your children, you know, but at the same time, you got to let them fly now. So it's a very interesting time, and we have a great time.
最后，我要替上海的一位大爷问您一个问题。当初您在上海的时候，选择有一次出行坐地铁，然后在这个车厢里头，您跟很多球迷聊天。一位大爷问您什么时候买房子啊？在上海，您说好吧，我要多赢一些在上海的比赛，然后在上海外滩买房子。那最后一个问题就是什么时候在上海买房子
It's been actually really good fun, honestly, traveling with the metro here in Shanghai. We've done some fun things, you know, here in this city. I've been coming here for so long. I've been maybe walking around, hitting a serve in front of the Bund, you know, or there also speaking to just people on the, you know, on the metro. Somebody asked me, have you bought a house yet? He said, did you buy an apartment? But it's just so convenient, you know, to stay at the hotel, to be honest, you know, and I'm not here enough to really buy an apartment or a house. But I mean, you see these most incredible modern apartment buildings, and of course you would think like, oh, I wonder how it would be to live in Shanghai or in a completely different place.
最后的最后，还要替孩子问您一个问题，告诉他们为什么要打网球，会给他们带来什么？
Great question. Yeah, I think tennis is a great sport. It's no contact, but it's one-on-one. And I think you learn a lot from that concept of being, you know, one against one. Winning and losing is always very important, you know. And I feel like what's great about tennis, it's in your control. In tennis, it's always your fault. If you win, it's your fault. If you lose, it's your fault. And I like that about tennis. And it's still, as much as it's an individual sport, it's also a group sport because your practices, you know, are with a team, and you are only as good as your team. So I think it's a great way of life. You learn a lot through tennis, and I think if you're successful in tennis, I think it teaches you a lot about mental strength and physical toughness. And I think the great athletes and the great tennis players usually are really good people as well, because we stay very humble, because we know 1 week we lose, 1 week we win, but at the end of the day, we always got to remember to work hard, and I think that's why tennis is a great sport for young children.
非常感谢您，谢谢。希望您尽早的再回到上海，回到中国。
Yes, hopefully next year, absolutely. Can't wait.